Hello, everyone. This is Mike Stratman, youth minister for St. Vincent de Paul Catholic Church, and I wanted to share with you all a great resource that comes from an organization called the Search Institute, in which the mission of the organization is to promote healthy development of young people through parent and school relationships. Their purpose, this organization has put together an amazing tool that they have titled Strengthening Family Relationships. That is to encourage families to reflect on their own relationships and in turn will strengthen the family. This was designed to be utilized during a Zoom meeting, but for the sake of the crazy schedule everyone has, I thought it would be wise to break it down into increments for YouTube and Instagram. So the Institute explains that there are 5 elements that help foster healthy relationships. And these elements are expressing care, challenging growth, provide support, share power, and expand possibilities. So with expressing care, what that means is showing your child that they matter to you and you enjoy being around them. Challenging growth is help to each other be your best, learning from our failures and being accountable to stay on track. Providing support is to help complete tasks, achieve goals, and be an advocate for one another. Sharing the power is where we take each other's ideas seriously and work toward problem solving, helping to build that foundation of communication. And expanding the possibilities are to help each other connect ideas, people, and opportunities. So, how does this work, right? So this will work instead of having a specific time for everyone to log in or to join through any online platform such as Zoom or many of the others like Google Classroom or something like that. Instead, what we'll do is I'm going to upload these videos to YouTube and Instagram, and you can follow them along with a parent guide, which looks similar to this. I've highlighted a bunch of things. To accompany the videos that will be posted as well. Each video will be themed around one of the 5 elements that I just have shared. And you're welcome to respond to each of these videos with your own check-in video with how it's going, how you might invite other families to participate and or for support. You can email me as well. And then what is involved? There's activities involved where each video will invite you to participate as a family in 3 ways. There is there's 3 elements to it. And the first element is where they say it called check it or check in, which means taking a very short quiz to see where your family stands with each of the elements. And this quiz can be found on, it's called keepconnected.searchinstitute.org/family relationship quiz. And then the next element, the second activity involved is talk about it, which meaning just that is to discuss as a family with conversation starters. And then the third piece of it is the try it. And what that means is that there's suggested activities that you can do at home surrounding each of the themes. And then involved in additionally with this is I will also like to add a Catholic spin on this by uniting it with being intentional about inviting God into the process and also into the mundane parts of our lives as well. Such as, are we being intentional with these moments that foster intimate relationships with God and with one another? Are we offering that respect to each other? Are we offering our siblings, our parents, the opportunity to show us how God is involved in our lives? Are we asking for that assistance of saying, hey, each of us are good at this, or simply just talking through it? There's a Catholic author, his name's Greg Popcak, and he has stated that the family was designed from the beginning to be that place where we experience the joy of being loved, not for what we can do, but simply for who we are. So in recognizing in one another that we are creations of God, but also we learn through our family that expression of love. And so for this introduction series, we can begin to reflect on how we can reset, refresh family relationships. So for that first activity, a part of this introduction is the try it. So the try it at home activity is to tape sheets of paper together to create a long sheet. Label it for each decade of the oldest person in the family. Therefore, if the oldest person in the family is 45 years old, you'll need 5 sheets of paper. I kind of shortened mine a little bit. So you work together to write down, draw, or add photos of major events in your family or in the world that has influenced your family relationships during each of those decades. These can be positive or negative. Such events may be adding a family member, moving, a special time together, or an illness, a loss of a job, etc., right? So essentially this is a family timeline of events that has shaped the family. So I'm going to show you guys mine. This is mine. So 1, 2, and 3. Okay. There's supposed to be a 4th one. I kind of, like I said, I made it all work on the 3, but that's fine. So then, like, some of the things that I've found, like, on mine is that, some of these things that I've noticed how it's affected my relationships, affected my sibling relationships, affected my relationship with my fiance is, some of the things are, in the past I've had unhealthy relationships, long distance relationships, short term, those that were unhealthy. And also part of it is, just coming to realize, the limits of my communication. Some of these things were growing up in that were affected my relationships were one thing that I really liked was, like, in my 20s that I really appreciated was where my family my siblings and we used to come together for Christmas gatherings, and not just for receiving gifts, but they spent time together. So those are just some examples. So then some of the talk about it activity of this exercise is talk about these as a family, how these events affected the relationship of the family, and then kind of find which element a lot of these came in, which of the 5 elements were important during these events. So some of the questions to consider are, what stories from your grandparents do you remember most? What values have been important to you and your family for a long time? When are times that you have felt close as a family? What made that time special? What do you hope will be the same about your family in the future? What do you hope will be different? And so the Catholic Christian part of this is, within these moments and events, where was Christ? Did we take the time to process these moments and events with him? Did we look back to see how he gave us the grace and the courage to get through them? Did we invite him to be a part of those moments? And like in Mass, did we offer ourselves completely and say, this is all I have. I am giving this to you. And then we can do the same with these events and moments, whether they are good or bad, and say, this is all I have. This is what I'm giving you. And so that's what this series is going to look like. And I'm going to try to keep these posted and updated through, we'll probably do it a few times through October. So I hope this is something that's going to be beneficial. It's not a requirement. I just thought it would be a great resource to help everyone grow in our faith, grow in my faith as well. So thank you, and God bless.